Welcome to my kitchen. I'm Arden. This is the food I eat. Today I'm going to make French cream. I'm using 2 quarts of Organic Valley, half and half. Alright, so I've set my temperature here to medium-low, and that's really important, otherwise you'll end up scorching your half and half, which you don't want. And of course, because I've just pulled it out of the refrigerator, it is, about 40 degrees or so. And so it's going to have a long ways to go to get up to about 180 degrees, which is where I want to take it, just below a boil. You do not want to bring it to a boil. And a boil will happen at about 182 degrees, so you don't have a whole lot of leeway there to work with. And this is going to take me about 35 minutes. It is currently 12:27 p.m. and yeah, this is going to be a while. I highly suggest you find something else to do while you're in this process. Keep yourself amused. It's been about 10 minutes now. And my temperature is, just over 90 degrees. And I'm getting hungry, so I'm actually going to eat some of my French cream that I made last week with some blueberries while I stir my current batch of French cream. You need to multitask to do away with the boredom during this process, so cheers. 20 minutes in, about 140 degrees. So we're at about 180 degrees here, and 1 o'clock. And what I want to do is I want to slide off my heat since I'm on an electric stove, because I do not want this to keep cooking, because from 180 to 182 degrees is not very far. So I'll take out my thermometer and my spatula, and then I'm going to give it a cover with some plastic wrap here in a second. I'm going to give it about 30 seconds to cool as it is, but then I'm going to cover it quickly because I don't want to let any microbes that are floating around the air, bacteria and yeast especially, settle onto this. I don't want to grow those. So now, ever so delicately, I'm going to cover my half and half with some plastic wrap, being careful not to burn myself, nor to dunk the plastic wrap in the half and half, because I really wouldn't want that to happen. And I put my lid on, and then I'm going to transfer it to the refrigerator. It's going to take about 4 or 5 hours for this to cool to about room temperature. Okay, so it's almost 6 o'clock. It's been about 5 hours. And what I did was I heated my half and half to 180 degrees Fahrenheit to remove all the microbes that were there before. And then I put it in the refrigerator and chilled it so that it wouldn't be a hostile environment for the microbes that I want to introduce. And so you can tell if it feels cool to the touch, then that's the kind of room temperature that you want it to be at to introduce your new culture. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to skim off this film. Now the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to ready my yogurt maker. And I have actually modified mine, but first of all, because I'm making about half a gallon here, or 2 quarts of French cream, I'm going to fill the yogurt with enough water to get up to the top line. There are 2 lines inside. One is for if you're making about half of this amount. You can still use the same insertable container for the inside, but you want to use half the water because this will actually float inside this water as a double boiler. And so if you've got half of the contents inside, you only need half the water to make it float. What I use is a yogurt starter, and this is a freeze-dried yogurt starter, and I use 4 packets. And the scissors that I use to cut this, I don't use for anything else. Now you need to mix the half and half in slow, otherwise it won't go well. So I'm going to start off with just 2 tablespoonfuls. And then with a spatula, I'm going to gently mix that in until it becomes a paste. So now it's looking about right to introduce a little more liquid. And I'm going to stick out a couple tablespoons at a time here. Alright, so now to make my process easier, because it is very liquidy, runny now, I'm going to start mixing my half and half in faster. Now I'm ready to put the lid on. So now I'm going to immerse it into the yogurt maker, and you'll see it'll kind of bob just a little bit. And plug it in. And you'll see it has a light that comes on in front to let me know it's on. So now it'll sit for 24 to 30 hours. And that's it for now, so see you tomorrow. It's just after 9 o'clock the next day, and my French cream is ready to come out. And I'm going to show you how to check the temperature for future testing purposes. You want to disturb the yogurt or the French cream as little as possible when you do your testing. And to get an accurate reading, you want to go as far down as you can into the center. Don't wiggle it about, and every time you test, I would try and test at about the same area. And the reason is every time you stir the yogurt or the French cream, you kill bacteria, you kill the microbes that you work so hard to create. So now it just goes in the refrigerator, and tomorrow morning will be the first time I can taste it.